Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is for you if you are wondering how to see the silver lining in even the darkest situations. If you can't understand how certain people just face adversity and just keep bouncing back, stick around because I'm going to share with you a little superpower I have as a storyteller that can help you not get so bogged down when things aren't going your way. So, let's start off by saying, okay, it's not really a superpower. It's a power that anybody has access to, but I think that in our lives, we are all given a certain archetype. If you don't know what your archetype is, you may want to look into that. But for me, as a storyteller, one of the things I think is great about being a storyteller is that I'm always looking for the silver lining. Right? So I've had many situations. I'll tell you the situation that challenged me to make this particular video. And it is that over the weekend, you could say, I guess some people call it like shooting your shot, right? But essentially, I let someone know, hey, I'm interested in you. I think they already know, but we can't assume that people know, right? We have to be direct as adults and say, hey, if this doesn't work out, at least I tried. At least I was direct. I wasn't vague. I didn't use euphemisms or anything. And so we'll see what happens from that. And of course, you know, when you open yourself up, when you're vulnerable with other people, especially when you're telling someone, hey, I like you, there's always that fear of rejection. And I started thinking about how regardless of what I get back from people, whether I am accepted romantically or whether I'm rejected, I always find a way to make it work for me. So if I shoot my shot and I'm accepted romantically, great, then we ride that wave, right, of love and light. But if I'm rejected, yes, it hurts. I'm a human being. But I'm always able to transmute that energy, right, and transform it. And instead of being like, woe is me, I am like, woe is me, you're about to see, just wait, right? I kind of, I get a little sassy. I dig into my inner Latina, my inner Chicagoan, and I'm like, okay, motherfucker, just wait and see. Watch this, right? And so instead of like wallowing in like self-pity, I transmute that energy. We're going to be using that word a lot around here. And, you know, we just transform it from what it wants to be, negative, holding us down, to something empowering. I'm also an Aries, so I think that, you know, we really like working with that fire energy, and really bettering ourselves with whatever we get from other people. So again, instead of letting rejection get you down, why don't you let that be the fuel that propels you to the next level of your self-development, right? So if you think about it and you're like, okay, how is this done? Think about, for instance, a comedian. Do you think that when a comedian has, you know, a really challenging moment in their day, they're human, right? Again, they probably get frustrated in the moment. But afterwards, once they've processed it, they're like, hey, how do we get a joke out of this, right? Everything is material when you're a comedian, which I consider to be under the umbrella of a storyteller, right? So you've got to ask yourself, how can I make this work for me? How can I take this story and how can I end on an uplifting note? And that's really the key there. is to end on an uplifting note. You can't let whatever happened that was, the seemingly negative experience, you can't let that be the end. So you have to reframe your story, and instead of the negative thing, again, being the ending, make the negative thing the middle. Move the ending over here, and now that's giving you all this space to work with over here, where you get to challenge yourself to figure out how you're going to overcome this. Do you see? Do you see how just that one simple trick it changes your whole life? It starts to create new neural pathways where now, instead of being at a dead end, you have now trained your mind to look for possibilities of how to elevate you from what you thought was the end of the world. I don't know about you, but sometimes I would call my mom after work. This is something we do. And sometimes she would say, "Oh, why do you only tell me the bad things that happened at work? You never tell me any of the good stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, would you like to hear that I went to the bathroom 7 times today? And every time I went to the bathroom, the toilet paper dispenser was fully stocked. The sinks worked properly. The hand dryers worked. Everything went smooth. The door locked, and I, turned the handle. The door opened. Everything went well." Is that what you want to hear? Or would you like to hear about the one time I went to the bathroom and there I was with my shorts down around my ankles, and I reached into the toilet paper dispenser and I forgot to check, and there's no toilet paper. And so I got to call out to the person in the stall next to me, like, "Oye, señora, pásame papel," and she goes to look in her toilet paper dispenser, and guess what? There's no fucking toilet paper. The porter must have called out or something. And so now we're stuck in the bathroom. Neither one of us has toilet paper, and we got to figure out what the fuck to do. Wouldn't you rather hear that second story instead? Right? It's not about being negative or only sharing, the bad things that happen. It's that nobody wants to hear a story that doesn't have some sort of challenge in it. Think about the millions of dollars that people all over the world are spending every single day to watch Netflix and Disney and HBO and Hulu and all of that. Every single one of those stories has a challenge, has something that it's trying, some problem it's trying to solve for. And now I'm not saying I'm mastered this art, but knowing that people do want to hear a challenge in a story, but also that they want to hear your solution, you can start to overcome this heaviness that comes over you when things don't go your way. And again, it's really simple. And this may not be an official part of reframing, but this is how, I know there are lots of techniques for reframing, but this is the best way that I can explain it to you. It's to take whatever it is that just happened to you and make sure that that's not the end of the story. Pretty simple, right? And if it's something kind of light, something not too heavy, which you will learn as you get older, how to decipher, what is a legit challenge and what is something that you can let go. And you can choose to just let it go, or you can recognize that, hey, next time you go out with your friends or whatnot, you may want to have a story in your back pocket, and you may want to have this story in your back pocket if you can turn it into some sort of joke, if you can find some levity in it that you can share with your friends at dinner or when you're out for drinks and you're not going to be a drag, do that. Use these like storyteller techniques and this, I think it's a cognitive behavioral therapy technique from psychology, the whole reframing technique. You can use these to help you to, again, not get so weighed down by the things that happen to you. And they're not always happening to you directly, you just experience them. And I understand we're human, but hopefully, just this one little tip, right? I want to make it really easy for you to understand. Hopefully that can help you shift your perspective. Again, train your mind to start looking for solutions and just leave you on a lighter, more uplifted energy overall, right? So I hope that worked for you. And I would love to hear, if you know what your archetype is, and if you do know what your archetype is, what is a superpower that this personality has that can be helpful to other people? Comment below so that I can find out about it, and so anybody else who's watching this video can learn other superpowers, other tools they can keep in their back pocket from all the different archetypes. Okay, I hope it was helpful for you. Stick around the channel if you want to see more videos like this, just self-improvement, self-development, and how they pertain to the path of solopreneurship. All right, thank you so much for watching. Bye.